Hey there collectors, it's Joe from Entertainment Earth. Today we're going to talk about some of my most anticipated figures of the year. I'm so excited to give you a closer look at the Retro Spider-Man Marvel Legends wave. Let's dive in. First up, the packaging is hands down my favorite alternate packaging they've ever done for Marvel Legends, a faithful recreation of the 1994 Toy Biz line from Spider-Man the Animated Series. I mean, this just takes me back to walking around to KB Toys, picking out all of my favorite heroes, the purple box, the iconic Spider-Man logo with that yellow font, even the old Marvel Comics logo. I mean, I can hear the theme song when I look at this box. The backside is also a faithful recreation. You have that character portrait and the little blurb, and then the rest of the figures in the line. I mean, it really is totally unique. I love seeing this. I'm usually an out-of-box collector, but I think I'm gonna have to pick up another Spidey to keep in box because it really does take me right back to my childhood. But let's talk about the figures themselves. I'm gonna start with one of the most anticipated, hyped figures of the year, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man himself. Now the web head looks incredible. Like I said, there was a lot of hype around this figure, and I am happy to report that it does live up to that hype. You have so many different posing options thanks to the new joint system and all of the articulation that comes with it. You can really put him in so many different poses that it looks like he's really web swinging around New York. You're gonna get two sets of hands, one with that whip motion we all know and love for web swinging, and then a pair of fists for taking down all of Manhattan's baddies. You're also gonna get two head sculpts. One kind of has a little tighter on the eyes, almost like a more serious Spider-Man in the middle of the action, and then one that is just the regular look for Spider-Man. This Spider-Man figure really harkens back to that 1994 line as well, because that featured the super articulated Spider-Man, which had a whopping 15 points of articulation, which in 1994 was a big deal. When you put these two side by side, you can really see how far we've come in terms of sculpting and articulation, but at the same time, they really kept true to that original design, and I absolutely adore it. This figure is one of my oldest in my collection, and now one of my newest, and they both look incredible. The rest of the figures in the wave are just as exciting to me personally, so I'm gonna go ahead and run through some of my favorites there. I'm gonna start with Gwen Stacy. Now, Gwen Stacy is a piece of comic book history, obviously one of the most important women in Spider-Man's life, and the costuming is so faithful to that original design. You're also going to get some great accessories. You have a rolled up copy of the Daily Bugle, a Midtown High book, and a purse. You're also going to get an additional head sculpt for Mary Jane Watson if you're more of a Mary Jane fan, but the costuming is really true to Gwen Stacy, so I'm kind of hoping we see a Mary Jane down the line as well. Next up, we have Peter Parker. This again harkens back to that 1994 line when we had a Parker figure. He has a camera accessory and two head sculpts, one that has the glasses that are whited out, a very comic book look, and the other one is hands down my favorite head sculpt of all time. It is the Spider-Sense split down the middle. I mean, this is such an iconic look for Spider-Man. If you've ever picked up a Spider-Man comic, you've seen this before. I'm so happy they're adding it into the line. It really gives you some fun display options. I am personally really excited about that one. Next up, the Green Goblin, one of Spider-Man's greatest foes, his arch nemesis in my opinion, and this looks great as well. You're gonna get his glider, and what I really like about the glider is it's simple. They didn't overdo it. It really fits for the style and looks like the comic and the animated series, in fact. You're also going to get a pumpkin bomb. Can't have the Goblin without a couple pumpkin bombs in the mix, and a Norman Osborn head sculpt. That Norman Osborn head sculpt I think is also really great. I mean, again, you just have so many different options for how you want to pose these figures. You can recreate some of the most iconic moments in Spider-Man's history, especially when the wave includes Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man, and the Green Goblin. I think we all know what I'm talking about there. Next up, you're going to get another villain Electro. Electro comes with an alternate set of hands that kind of have electricity sparking out of them. This is a great way to, again, just diversify your display. I love that there are two villains in the wave, and they're two classic Spider-Man villains with classic looks. Really fits the retro packaging. The last figure here is the Daredevil. Now this one kind of surprised me the most. I was a little taken back when I first saw it was included in the wave. I didn't think it quite fit, but when I got the figure out of the packaging, I was really pleasantly surprised. The last time I remember seeing this armored look was in the Marvel Universe 3 3/4 inch scale, and now when it's blown up, you can really see all of the details that are in that suit. The two armored pieces on the shoulder move really well, so you're not losing any articulation there, and they use the same sort of bracelet technology they did for Black Widow, where you take that off and you can either have the Billy Club on his arm or in his hand. He's also going to come with a Matt Murdock alternate head sculpt. I love the fact that this wave includes two civilians, two heroes, two villains. I think that split is incredible. I was so excited to see some of the civilians included, and the fact that you get alternate head sculpts for almost every figure in the line with their secret identity underneath. I mean, I think that's just really great. With the retro packaging, the choice of figures, the new articulation, this wave is an absolute must get for Marvel Legends collectors or anyone who grew up watching that Spider-Man cartoon. Jump on the website now. I'm telling you, you're not gonna wanna miss out on these. I've been Joe, you've been awesome. We'll see you next time. Thwip.